What is going on? What is going on? DJ Check Thursday, aka the Cleveland Terry Show. Hope everybody's having a fantastic time. My social stream is not doing what I told it to do. I told it to pop up and then delete itself. And it's like, no, we're going to remove all your comments before you can see them. So I need to change this like immediately, or else I will not be able to see any of your comments. I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Text mechanics right here. Auto hide. There we go. Get rid of this. I was trying to get it to where when I put a text message on screen that after a certain amount of time, it just auto removes it because, hold on. No. Hold on, guys. Okay. Sorry about that. All right. So, I need to move this comment because I can't see any comments. They keep deleting themselves. So let me just change the dock here just so, I can see what you guys are saying, because the whole point of this show is to answer questions, and that does not matter. That does not matter if I can't. Okay. So, once I get this thing the way it's supposed to be, I will get this all copy link. I'll do it the old way. Copy link. Okay. Because I can't see a thing you guys are saying, and I'm very sad. Control V. You know, when I copied this earlier, it worked just fine. Now I'm trying to copy and paste, and it's like, I want nothing to do with you. And that's really, really annoying. Okay. Copy link. As soon as this pops up, we will move on to the actual show. But there we go. All right. Let's see if that fixes it. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. There will be no comments on here. It's not even technical difficulties. It's just technical stupidity. Like, why can't you just do what I ask? And why is this such a difficult thing? Like, just in general, why wouldn't they think that this is something that anybody would want? Overlay. Mechanics. Auto hide message after. Show messages for at least. Reduce. Yeah, doesn't exist. That's so dumb. Okay. Anyway, back to you guys. Hopefully now it's popping up. There we go. There we go. Okay. All right. So, nothing's working properly. My coffee. First off, I didn't have I drink decaf usually only on these shows. I have one of those, Nespressos, and I have my Ember. So I went to go pop a pod in. All of my long throws, like my full cup of coffee versus the espresso, gone. I'm the only one that drinks it. And last week, I know that there was coffee here because my wife drinks regular unless she's drinking my decaf. So I put in the a couple of one espresso pod. It's fine. They're pretty strong anyway. And I put some half and half in there, some sugar. It's cold. It's cold in my Ember. How does that work? So now I got to go to my Ember and see why it's not working properly. It's one of those days. That's the dumb stuff. That is the dumb stuff I'm dealing with. Now, has anybody texted any of the chat? Let's just see here. Okay, good. So besides all of that nonsense, we're good. We're good. We're going to talk about what we're going to talk about. What are we going to talk about today? Well, continue with Google. I don't even recall doing any of this. Let's see if it works. Continue. Personalize your mug. I have. Yeah, that's annoying. Continue. Just said that. Okay, there we go. Let's see here. I did get an email from, I don't need notifications. I did get an email from Mixmaster GNL. His streaming component for digital conversion utility has been updated. I just got the email today. So actually I got it on the 14th. I lied, not today. So if you guys are using the DJ conversion utility for streaming, I'd recommend updating because it now supports, well, Apple Music, Beatport Link, Beat Source Title, which I believe it already did. It enables bidirectional from Serato, Rekordbox, Algorithm DJ Pro 5. Well, that's cool. And Engine OS. I believe I have it. I'm gonna have to start using this. So if you don't have the download, check it out. Check it out. What's going on in the DJ world right now? That is a great question. A question that I'm having a hard time answering. Because the DJ world has been pretty quiet as of late. I know we're dealing with the purchase or sale of Serato. So I know that's a thing. Earthquake didn't affect us. I mean, I'm sure it did. I haven't felt a single earthquake since we've been having them. And apparently we've had like 6 or 7 of them. Wolf Mix firmware 2.0. Yes, that one is actually fantastic. That gives a lot more options, a lot more. I wish people would stop using the term AI for everything, but it creates a series based upon your fixtures now. So before with the WMX, which I don't have on me right now, you had basically your scene modes, okay, essentially, and you had to make every one of them yourself. Then they decided, okay, first off, we're going to take all of your scenes and we're going to allow you to have multiple pages, which is fantastic. And then we're going to do an auto one where, like in Sound Switch, you can just say, auto loops, and then you can generate a whole bunch of auto loops. It'll just do it for you. WMX did the same thing. So now there are a series of auto loops, basically, that it'll make on its own. You just literally just say, run it, and it'll take your fixtures and do its thing. So that's very, very cool. I have full disclosure. Full disclosure. I have a Sound Switch that I don't use anymore. Not that there's anything wrong with Sound Switch. Sound Switch is great. I prefer something in the middle. I thought the most user-friendly program that you can use, if you have movers specifically, the most is Light Rider or My DMX Go. It's basically like My DMX Go now is just a copy of Light Rider. I don't know if they bought them. I don't know what happened, but it's a copy of Light Rider from My DMX Go. That one, if it worked the way it was supposed to work, would have been great for most people, especially if you're just rocking movers and you just want the movers to do some cool stuff. Then Sound Switch came out, which was almost the direct opposite. Okay. It had all the stuff, it had all the movements and everything, but everything was like text, you know, and you had to kind of know where everything was and go there. Light Rider doesn't do all that. Light Rider's like, nope, we do this sweep and we do this sweep and we do this and we do this. And yes, you could create scenes for whatever, you know, fixtures you were using, but ultimately it was very hands-on. Okay. You had to, I'm in dance mode, I'm in grand entrance mode, whatnot. Sound Switch kind of made it easier for you and said, we'll just do it all for you. She said, you don't have to do anything. But in order to get to the macro level or really make your visuals look good, you really had to get in there and do some work. Nothing wrong with that. You can really customize them to your liking, which is what's fantastic about it. But a lot of stuff. And as much as I appreciate the Control One, I didn't really like using it. Now, there's nothing wrong with the Control One. It's just, you know how just like if you go out, it's very durable. You know how if like you go out to buy a car, you're interested in a car, so you go out and you check everything out and you find a car that you really like. And then shift this a little bit. There we go. And then you bring your significant other, you bring your buddy, whatnot, to go try out the car. And you're like, I love this car. And then they get in the car, they drive the car, and they're like, I can't stand this car. Because everybody does things differently. And certain things work for certain people. The way Sound Switch works for me, it feels like I'm working harder than I need to. Now, it's not really the case because it actually makes things easier for you. It's designed to make it to where you make it, you just kind of let it do its thing. I don't really work that way. So the WMX one comes around and it is like a hybrid, but more of like my DMX Go / Light Rider than Sound Switch. It had some Sound Switch pieces because of all the pads and all that stuff, but it's really designed for that person that's like really wants to get hands-on with their stuff, you know? And then they slowly made updates and updates and updates. And now this latest update really does like blur the whole Sound Switch and WMX because it's doing a lot of the things that Sound Switch does now. But it also does what Light Rider has always done. So I like to touch and feel. I like to know when here comes the build up. I want to hit the stream. I want to hit the strobe. Now, of course, you could just build the build up. If you have time, you could just build the build up and Sound Switch, not for me. The one thing I didn't love it's for Sound Switch when I was using it, the energy assumptions when you would run the auto loop script. The energy assumption for me felt way too slow. No matter how much I put it like maximum, it was way too slow. So I'd have to go in there and then change it again and change it again. And it was driving me nuts. But that's just for me. Everybody's different. And I mean, everybody's different. If it works for you, great. Is it the end all? No, I don't truly believe that there is an end all lighting controller. I think every controller has a lot of great qualities and some glaring weaknesses. All of them. Every single one of them. There is no perfect DMX controller yet. I guess unless you maybe want to go like computer based and have all that, which I'm not doing. Now, Maestro came along, and to be full disclosure, I've only used it on parties twice. And at the time, I had bad wireless connection protocol problems. So I know they've updated it and made it better. So I need to take out Maestro, which I'll probably take out next Saturday. I'm off this Saturday because I want to see what it does. Now, the things that it does well. The things that it doesn't do well, at least when I was testing it, I did not like at all. So, but there's been major updates since the last time I looked at it. So, I will test it out. And just like Lou was saying, massive update. Yes, I need to test it out. I do. Which we'll do. And I gotta get a review out anyway. So, yeah, I'll probably update it today. This is why you take a backup controller. That doesn't make any sense. What does that mean? Please explain. I don't understand. Okay. While he is explaining that, I want to go up to Callow. Callow says, thoughts on DJs posting their DJ mixes on YouTube with a video of themselves mixing. I have zero thoughts on this. I don't know if you mean like a live mix or like their DJ mixes and they just happen to have like a loop of them like at a party or a club doing their thing. Like I'm a little confused with that. I'm going to assume we're just talking about like a live mix, which I think is fine. I don't have a single problem with that. That's okay. Do you have a problem with the Callow? It doesn't seem like that'd be much of a problem. So explain yourself. All right. Let's see. Uno Nice says, how can I contact you? I'm not getting any sound on my speakers. You can't contact me. I'm not tech support. And this is a whole different thing, man. You got to contact, whatever software you're using, Serato. I'm not getting any sound on my speakers. Rain Performing, running Serato on Windows 11 laptop. Well, you got to follow the signal chain. First off, signal chain says sounds coming out of your computer, coming out of your USB into your controller. Do you see readouts on your controller? First thing, check for that. If you see readouts, meaning you're seeing the digital display for your audio hit either your faders or your master audio. Master audio is really the most important part, not even what you see on your faders, because some don't have that. But check on your LEDs on your master audio and see if there's audio coming out of it. You see that thing jumping up and down. If you do, it's not your controller. Okay. Go from the XLRs or whatever output you're using. Okay. And you're going to have to test from there. But if your speakers are not getting any sound to your speakers, there's so many variables. So many variables. So many variables. But first go from there. If you don't see a signal going to your controller, then you know it's the computer. If you see a signal, it's likely not the computer. If you see it going out if you see the master gain, it's not the controller. So it's pinpointed to whatever audio cables are going out. It could be in the wrong port. Happens more than you think. You think you're plugging it into the outputs and you're plugging it into the booth and your booth is down. Happens all the time. Then go to your speakers. Are they on? You know, there's just too many variables. Too many variables for that. But that's a tech support question. That is not a me support question. So, sorry. Okay. This is what DJ Mac Attack says. So, like I said, if you don't see audio coming out of your controller, then it is absolutely your PC. But you gotta troubleshoot. You gotta troubleshoot. There may be a lot of things. But it's not something. I'm not tech support. Yeah, I'm not getting on a phone call to work through somebody's issues. That is I need to go to Serato. I need to explain to them what's happening. But first, troubleshoot correctly, and then go from there. I answer the questions after you've like troubleshooted everything, And then I'm like, I can go through and say, oh, it's probably this. Like, oh, I'm on a Mac and I'm not getting sound. Oh, right. Without even question, it's guaranteed. You didn't allow the audio, the microphone to be allowed to be used with Serato. That's why you're not getting any sound. But I don't have a Windows computer. I do not have a Windows computer. Anyway, especially for DJing, stay away from that kind of stuff. Go away. Okay. DJ Bam, thanks for hanging out today. Appreciate that. Yeah, and then the biggest deal for me, why at the moment, okay? At the moment, this could all change. I am not locked to one light controller. If a light controller comes around and it's better, I'm using that. Like, I'm not even thinking twice about it. But the thing that I really love about the WMX, and I know that they've added some of these things to SoundSwitch. I know. But I also didn't really want it on my computer. Every time I had SoundSwitch on my computer, it made Serato act a little weird. And obviously, it's a very limited sync if you're using Algorithm DJ. You know, you can only go out of the Ableton link, which is not the same. But the one thing that I love about the WMX is that I can make changes on the fly. I can literally just change things whenever I need them to. And I believe they've added something like that to SoundSwitch to make it a little easier. Excuse me. Maestro allows some modifications. But the problem with Maestro is that it's a problem that they are fixing. But I've said this before. Maestro did it. They kind of did it backwards. Okay. Meaning they came out with a box, and it's literally just a box. Okay. And the box is like, imagine this is Maestro. All right. And I say, hey, come get Maestro. This does it all for you. It's AI. You don't have to do a thing. I'm like, cool. Just put your fixtures in. That's it. Just put your fixtures in and it'll just do everything. That's kind of cool. Okay, great. Okay, I have a question. So how do I blackout mode? How do I go to like strobe? Oh, well, if you want to do that, you have to go to your iPad and then get on the Maestro protocols, their own little hotspot essentially, and then go into basically the browser utility of Maestro. And while you're in there, you can make changes and everything from your iPad. Oh, okay. So there's no box. There's no this. No, we're coming out with some USB protocols that allow you to pick your own box and then, map it. Then you can use it. So essentially they went backwards. They made the hard part first. And now they're adding in all the easy parts that need to be there in order for you to get some tactile feel. I don't want to have to just like continue to keep going back to my iPad. Maybe it goes to sleep. Maybe the browser closes, whatever. Sometimes you just need that easy blackout. All my lights on, dance mode, honor dance. You don't need that many buttons, but you got to have something. So, but I have high hopes for Maestro. I really do. I really do. I had told them, I'm like, I don't really want to review until you get the update, which was the update we're talking about. I didn't want to review it until then because I just felt like it was almost ready. So I'm like, why do you want me to review a product that's almost ready and that is pretty expensive, for the average person? So I waited, and now I think it's time to really test it out. I've been spending so much time in the WMX really making it the way I want to make it because it's built into our LED wall and our light show there. And I was just getting tired of swapping out fixtures every time and testing them. Never got a real chance to really work them out and make a light show that is worthy of the Check One Two name, especially since we're doing all of these high end events. I mean, high end. I mean, you know, when a client spends 20 to 30K just on the DJ and the LED and the floors and lighting and all that stuff, you better give them something special. And that's where I'm sitting. So, working on it. When your light control fails, but yeah, you put them in sound mode. Nothing wrong with that, especially with like movers. That's easy, you know? Yum Yum Game says, I saw some standalone gear. I think we would just wait for a standalone stem support all-in-one DJ system. Okay. All right. All right. I need to make my powered 15 speakers wireless. What's my best option? Okay. So I'm going to give you some options, but I'm also going to ask a very, very simple question. And that question is, J. Crew, why? Why do you want to make them wireless? Because this is a big question, and it's a question that I think a lot of people haven't really asked themselves. Okay. Do you want to make them wireless because your speaker, you need to have a speaker down at the end of the room because, you know, there you need some fills for the guest area? Do you have a whole nother room that you're kind of running a speaker into, like for a cocktail or whatever, and you want to be able to run that so you can make announcements? Or do you want to just have your speakers wireless because it's 2025 and we ain't got time for wires? And that's a serious question because I've been seeing that statement with a lot of forums and a lot of just people. And I don't agree. I do not agree. If you just want to make your speakers wireless, hey, they got battery powered speakers now. Let's get rid of the wires. No. And I'm going to tell you what I use and then we can go from there. But no, if your speakers are anywhere near you, you run wires. Okay. There's no sense in adding just drama to your setup with wireless issues and, you know, audio drops and static. Don't add that to your main speakers. But people are trying. Stop. Please stop. Please. That's dumb. Your speaker is right here. It's right there. Run a damn cord. Sorry, guys. I know I don't have sound for you and I'm projecting loud because my speakers are off because my wireless controllers, the battery died. So, give me a minute to charge them, so we can get the sound back on. Okay. Now that I've clowned whomever enough, I use the X5s. Okay. Been using them for the past year. They have been rock solid for me. I know other people that have used the X5s and they had trouble with them. Didn't work for them. So I can't tell you which ones are going to be the end all. Sennheiser, not the microphone versions, but the ones above it do really well too. Who else has some? They just came out with new ones from Phoenix. Has some. I think it's Phoenix. Yeah, it's Phoenix. I haven't heard great things about the Phoenix ones. I know they want me to review them, but I haven't heard great things about them. I personally can trust my X5s, but I say that literally with like a huge caveat that depending on where you are, they may not work. I'm in Southern California. I have not had a problem. Anytime I've ever had a problem with them, legitimately, it was my fault. Oh, it's close enough. I'll just plug them in the back of the speaker. Meanwhile, the other one is on this side. So it's getting blocked by the cabinet. It's getting blocked by something else. I got another wireless thing there. Maybe my phone is whatever. The best way to run any type of wireless dongles, okay, XLR dongles, is to make sure that there's always line of sight. Always line of sight. That is the key. And you want to get that line of sight when this is really for any type of wireless protocol. You want to get that line of sight above the heads of everybody. Okay. So if I have, like, say a speaker for a fill in the back. Okay. So I'm on this part of the dance floor, right? And then you got the dance floor, tables, and then maybe you have some speakers like here. Okay. I run, doesn't matter what I'm running, even if I'm running column array, if I'm running point source. Okay. I have a longer XLR cord that goes from either my controller or the speaker. Okay. It doesn't really matter where it goes, where it comes from. It's just an output. And then I run that cord all the way up to the top of my speaker and I tape it down. Okay. And I have it pointing this way towards the other speakers. And then I run that other one onto the top of that speaker and I tape it down. Line of sight. Out of the way of all this nonsense. Okay. Line of sight. So that's the key for me. And it tends to work. Typically, if I'm having problems with it, it's because the battery's getting low. sun's going down, big boy. Battery's getting low. And then that's when I run into problems. Okay. I don't have a tech support action figure. I won't be making an action figure. Although I will tell you this. They look pretty damn good. They look pretty damn good. I'm not going to lie. They look pretty damn good. DJ Bam, I have a full-on video review of the Evolve 90s. Full-on video review. If my moderator's in here, they can pull it and copy and paste it if you have not seen that. But yeah, full video. And they did solid. They did better than any other line array I had in the room that I've ever had in that room. But we'll leave it at that. But still not the end all. WMix1 is great because it's a box that does everything you need and you can quickly make changes. Exactly. Got a wedding coming up, got 3 rooms. Okay. I personally don't love any wireless XLR if you need to go through rooms. Okay. So the way I would do it, if it was me, is again, line of sight. I don't like going through walls. Although you can go through walls, I don't like going through walls because it's risky. So I would do something like controller to me, obviously, with the wireless XLR going out. I'd have a speaker maybe on the wall side. Okay. And by the way, just so we're clear, a lot of people don't know this or think about this. You actually can run wireless XLR and then run a standard XLR out and move it that way. Like it could be essentially like a new, what do they call those things? Like the Wi-Fi access point. It's like an XLR access point. So you can have it there in the back, and then you can have, let's say you got 3 speakers in the back of the room. I know we're talking about the other room, which we'll get to, but I can go line of sight to 1 speaker and then XLR the rest across the room. So I only have to run, just 1 pair of X5s. Or if you want to do all wireless, you go 1 into that one, bam. Okay. Then you get another X5 and you go the output of the speaker, and then you can run that one to the other room, and then you can kind of daisy chain it from there. Something like that. But when in doubt, run XLRs. And they don't even have to be, I don't really fall into this. You got to buy this type of XLR to run it, or it's not going to run well, or it's not going to last, or, you got to have this DMX only XLR cable. In general, that has never existed for me. That has never been a problem. Any of these things, cheapest XLR, most expensive XLR, I've not seen a difference. In general, yeah. Are there some cables that go bad? Absolutely. But in general, Haven't had this problem. So if I knew that they needed to be on the whole time and there was going to be a lot of people, lots of, cell service and lots of all these things, I'd run the room wired. I'd go out to Amazon and buy, a couple of 100-foot XLRs, especially if you have multiple rooms and you can't get line of sight, and just run them all through. All through. Well, let me turn on my do not disturb. Okay. Just an opinion now. You don't really run into delays, sound delays, in all honesty. They're the X5s. And then there's always the Alpha Thetas too. The Alpha Theta dedicated speakers and their box. It's somewhere around here. But there's not really a delay. It's like, honestly, the delay is like, what are they? I think it's 5 or 7 milliseconds. And if you're doing like multiples, it jumps up to like 15 milliseconds at like the most. Like it's, I wouldn't worry about that part. Yeah, beaches, that kind of stuff. I don't have a problem with X5s. But remember what I'm saying is like, you know what to expect. Okay? Like when you get out there, you know what you're dealing with. And the client also knows what you're dealing with. So, that's an issue. Okay. In-ear monitoring systems. Guys, you guys are killing me with this stuff. You got to just try these things. I use, again, the X5s. They have an in-ear monitor system. It runs mono, so I have a mono cord. They've been really solid for me. And I can go, I've gone, and I'm sure a lot of them are all the same, but I've gone from the DJ booth to the bathroom and I can still hear my mix. Like, sometimes it's great. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So DJ Lab says his are useless. So there's no rhyme or reason why. It's guaranteed it's a frequency thing. Whatever the frequency they're using is in direct conflict of something in your area. And there's nothing that I can do about that. Sorry. Yes, but Philip, and hi, Philip. This is true. The only problem is those are expensive and people don't typically want to pay those prices. That's really it. You can go the other route and go out of your microphone. That's an option too. Don't ask me exactly how to do it. There's plenty of videos online. I think Rick Webb has a video on it. Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Justin, the DJ in the building. What's going on, fam? Good to see you. I just finished watching the video you did. That's not the video. There is a full-on 90s, Evolved 90s video. It's the one that's after that one. So check that one out. So, okay. All right. All right, let's see here. Yeah, I have so many. I always overbring. So every time like the crew gets there with especially with my wireless bag, I'm trying to shrink it down. I really am trying to shrink it down, but I just get nervous. So I always have too many cords and my bag ends up like, I'll do a party and I'll look at what's going on and what I'm using. I might need to do that. Cool. I'll grab a cord and I throw it in the bag. I never take the cord out of the bag. So I don't think about it. Then I get to another party. I'm like, or I'm looking at what I'm required to have. Ooh, I should probably bring a long XLR, throw in a couple of 50 footers or 100 footers. Okay. They end up staying in the bag. And then I'll end up using them. Sometimes I'll have LED wall, and they're like, the DJ needs to be on one side, the speakers on one side, and this big ass LED wall. Even before we had them, now I always carry the longer ones, and then I had to get it from one side to the other, and then potentially two of them going out when I was using Point Source, which I still use. I don't want you guys getting all crazy on me. I still use my Point Source too, but right now I've been using the EVs. This weekend, the next weekend, I have a wedding. I will be using the Evolve 50s. I use them. I have either used them or had them used 2 times now. First time it was on an elevated stage. I'm never going to do a review of a speaker on an elevated stage. That's silly to me. The next one was in a room that was way too small. So that's not a good indicator too. I'm hoping that the room I'm going to be in for this wedding is a good size, so I can test them. But in all honesty, for the most part, almost a spoiler alert, for the most part, those of the Mauis are kind of running neck and neck. And I think it's just a matter of sonically what you prefer. Strangely enough, when I did the video of the Mauis versus the EV 50s, I had a lot of people like, oh, the Maui sounds clear. The Maui sounds this. It's interesting. I'm never going to tell anybody what they hear. And this is why everybody's mileage may vary. People hear things and see things differently than other people. And because I did not hear that on the Mauis. The Mauis, as musically as they sounded compared to the EVs, sounded almost muffled, in my opinion. Now, I know the Mauis are not muffled. The Mauis sound great on a party, but it's essentially the same thing I've talked about before. You're going to buy a new LED TV, right? Or a new 4K TV. And you go into Best Buy or whatever your stores may be, across the country or outside of the country. And they have all these screens up, right? And they got a screen that's like 1,000. Then they have a screen that's like 2,000. They got a screen that's like 3,000. A screen that's like 4,000. Okay. All 4K. And you look at all of them. And you say, ooh, that 4K $4,000 screen is amazing. And it really is amazing. Okay. God, that 2,000 one doesn't look that good anymore. And that 3,000 one, for the price, I mean, it's better than the 2,000, but I feel like for $3,000, it should be much better. That 4,000, OLED, blah, blah, blah. Oh my God. Okay. Now you can't afford the 4,000. So you go out and maybe you get the 2,000. Maybe you splurge and get the 3,000. Okay. But let's say you get the 2,000. You take that $2,000 monitor to your house, disappointed. Okay. Because you didn't have enough money for the $4,000 one. And then you hang it on your wall and you turn it on and you say, my God, this picture is amazing. And you never think about that $4,000 LED again. 4K panel. You never think about it again because it's all reference points. It's all your eyes and the way you perceive things, and everybody's going to hear and see things differently. But when you take that one speaker out, even if you think, oh, that speaker sounds like trash compared to this speaker, when you take it out and put it on a party, I guarantee you it's going to sound pretty damn good. And you're not going to even be thinking about the other speaker. That's just facts of life. Okay. And I really believe once you get up to a certain price point, everything's good. And it's only just small degrees of better over and over again. So when you listen to the 15s of the Evolve 50s, or 70s, you're like, these sound amazing and they hit hard. But if I had to use a Maui, I would have been fine too. Now, like I said, I nerfed the EVs a lot to make them compete. That's why everybody's like, oh, the Mauis sound better. I'm like, yeah, but I had to turn up the Mauis to match the levels that are coming out of the Evolves. So I know for a fact that there's a lot more wiggle room coming from the Evolves than the Mauis. Doesn't make the Mauis bad at all. at all. Like Apartment Life, Elevator, and anywhere where people are recording themselves mixing with others there or not, I think it's cool. Oh, yeah, it's creative. I'm going to leave it at that. It's absolutely creative. So it just depends. Ernesto says wireless is still not there because of interference, especially. I mean, you're always going to have interference. That's never going to change anytime. You get interference with your cell phone. So that's not going to change. In the era like big cities, but even I would not trust it. I run my X5s in LA. All right. So again, it's not necessarily the city. It's just the frequency, whatever frequency that it is using, that it is their locked in frequency. Depending on where you are, it's just running into it. I have Shure. I had some SM58s, the PG4s. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I was using an SLX. Before we moved over to digital, I was using the analog SLX. It was at the time, it was in, I believe, the 400 megahertz. I think that was the standard for the longest time. Anyway, I was at the Santa Monica Pier doing a wedding. Outside. Again, anywhere. And this was before they shut off the frequency spectrum. This is before they shut it off. And it worked fine. One day, I was at the pier during speeches, microphone, cutting out like crazy. And never did it before. I open up, say, I'm looking at this. This is after I ran hard lined microphone. Okay. Because always have a microphone you can plug in and give to the person speaking. So I did a frequency scan, and sure enough, there was a new radio station satellite built like right down the road, and it just cut my microphone, just killed it. At that point, that's when I was like, okay, I got to go with a different microphone frequency. But you just never know. You never know. And I don't know if a lot of people are going to assume that if a mic works in a specific area, that it's just not going to work all of a sudden because they decide, I don't know too many people that are looking at the Shure frequency finder every weekend. Okay. Because that definitely wasn't me. Okay. Hard to say. It's hard to say. You just have to try them out, in all honesty. And the Alpha Thetas are, it's still the same protocols. It's the same wireless system. So it's hard to say. A lot of people have been swearing over using like standard microphones, like the body pack type things, or the microphone receivers as transmitter receivers. Hard to say. Yeah, I agree with that. Okay. K Doc Patterson in the building. I know everybody's been in here. I didn't say it, but what's up, Philip? What's up, Scott? Callow, DJ Lab, Justin, all those people, Keith, all the local families in here today, and I appreciate that. We all need to thump the Alpha Theta gods in the skull to build the ultimate DJ controller for 2025 better than the Rev 7. That's all just personal opinion. I don't know what the ultimate controller is or can be, because everybody thinks that an ultimate controller is different depending on who you ask. Some people think an ultimate controller is having some cross 12s and an S11 stuck together. I think that would be a nightmare. To each their own. The Rev 7, pretty damn good. It's pretty damn good. And even to this day, the Rev 7 still does things that make me happy to use it. Even when I'm using the Rain Performer. And the Rain Performer is a fantastic controller. It is legitimately a fantastic controller. One of the best controllers out. But the Rain Performer is not for everybody. And I'm still not happy that the Rain Performer, specifically the Rain Performer, doesn't work with Algorithm DJ on the iPad. I loved having Algorithm DJ, even when I was using Serato, and I go back and forth between the two. I loved having Algorithm DJ on my iPad as just a backup. Now I have to bring my Prime Go everywhere again. But the backup of just plugging it in real quick or just having it up and then, oh, geez, something's going on. Like when I had the little problem last week or 2 weeks ago with Apple Music and Serato, where it locked up my computer. It would have been great to be able to just pop over to DJ real quick. Couldn't do that. It doesn't work with the Rain Performer. The iPad version. PC works fine. Mac works fine. But no class compliant drivers. That's what we're dealing with. Okay. It's better to say that I have a cord to say, damn, I should have brought it. Yeah, I know. Okay. Okay. The Evolve 70s. Marcus is saying the Evolve 70s. I don't know what that means, but I'm late to the party. LD sound signature noticeably rolls off the highs. Yes, agreed. No complaints though. That's close to my preferred EQ curve. Okay. Yeah. No, I don't disagree. I don't actually have a problem with the highs. I think the highs are great. My problem is, sorry, my necklace is doing something stupid. My problem is only on the 44s, the bass. The bass is my problem on the 44s. The bass is solid. It is solid. But again, when you compare it to the 28s, G3s, it sounds nowhere near what I think it should sound like. So every time I play them, I'm just kind of disappointed in their sound. I know it's dumb, but it's me. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, guys, please stop this. I mean, honestly, please stop this. And I know CJ's name is up there and people are like, ooh, I'm not talking about CJ. I'm talking about most people. How are you comparing a column array, okay, with both a sub and a high that's 15s? Okay, you know what? Hold on. Let me back up. Let me back up because I know people want to use the KC12s. And at first I was looking at 12.2s. So I was thinking of point source. So retract the first thing I said. Let's just talk about the KC12s. My opinion, my only opinion. Okay. I only have one. This is for me. Okay. Flat out my opinion. Don't go take this anywhere. This is my opinion. All right. From my experience with them. Now, do I have a limited experience with them? Absolutely. Absolutely. But I've heard them 3 different times in 3 different rooms, 3 different locations, 3 different hearing qualities. Every single time I've heard them, I have not been impressed. Every single time I have not been impressed. Does that mean they're bad? No, that's not what they mean. That's not what it means. It means that they'll do fine for the majority of people that need a 12-inch subwoofer. They'll do just fine. But all of these people that either are justifying their purchase or they're getting paid by QSC or they're just trying to stay in QSC's good graces. I don't know what the answer is. When they tell you, oh, I had a 300-400 person party and those things rocked. Oh, You know what? I brought the K118 just in case I needed it. I didn't need it. Oh my God. I had to turn the bass down. No, 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 no. Do not tell me that lie. Because science. Because science. You're only going to get so much out of those speakers. And every time I heard them, there was a low level distortion. Every time they were pushing them, I heard a low level distortion. Now, could be bad cabinets. They were on carpet. So I'm not the guy to ask. Now, maybe at some point, maybe they'll send me a pair so I can truly test out in a real world environment everywhere. Because for all I know, they'll be the best column arrays if you're doing an outside wedding. Maybe they just hit that perfect sweet spot. Okay. I mean, people swear, and I own 2 of them, of the L32s with the sub 2s. And people are just like, oh, they're the best speakers ever. And I'm like, they sound good. They really do sound good. But oh my God, can you not push them without the heatsink getting taken over? And then you lose half your bass midway through the night. You know, they don't ever want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about how when you take most column arrays outside, you lose all the bass, because especially the earlier column arrays, it feels like they were designed to bounce off walls. Like the Bose, like, you know, like you get the Bose, you know, you remember the Bose used to have all those commercials on it. It's like, this is a bookshelf speaker that sounds like a stop. Okay. But they did sound good because they were bouncing off all the walls to give you that extra oomph. But I can't take a Bose L32 outside and expect to have anything besides a cocktail party, because the bass just disappears outside. Now, there's the 28 G3s. I felt like, and I hadn't used the Evolve 50s or anything like that outside, but the 28 G3s were the first column array that you could actually use outside, that I could anyway. That sounded really good. Now, I haven't used the Evolves 70s or 90s outside yet. Have not, so I can't even say if I do take them outside and all of a sudden they sound like trash or the bass is gone, I will absolutely update the video. But I don't think that's really going to be the case. So to each their own. To each their own. All right, let's see here. I don't know. Look, I don't know, man. I haven't used every wireless transmitter. I've not. So if you have used, I don't know. They keep coming out every other day. And if you go on Amazon, there's a whole bunch of no-name, non-brand name companies out there selling them. I mean, Phoenix got into the thing. So we'll see. If your back hurts, raise it up. Raise it up. Raise it up. Sorry, that was a little Dilla for you. Get yourself a table. If you're talking about like a Pro X booth, ones like you just build, or like, you know, even furniture. Yeah, if you're 6'3", it's probably going to hurt. They're not designed for you in general, but there are ways. I mean, you might need to go back to a table and then raise that table up that way. You know, build yourself a nice box underneath it. And then you'll be fine. But I have not seen anything that's like tall man booth. I haven't seen that. They don't have big, even though they do have big and tall DJs, they don't have big and tall hardware for DJs. All right, let's see here. Oscar the DJ in the building. What's going on? What measurements of platters do you think would be on a controller that is greater than 7 inch? These are the ones. You know, if I was like a video game, like let's say I was like Mario, or maybe I'm Contra, and I'm right now. I've gone through all these questions, and I'm wielding the double machine gun grenade launcher, side scrolling. I'm doing my thing, right? And then I think I hit everybody, and one little random little fireball comes, hits me. Knocks all my stuff out. Now I'm back to my pea shooter. That's the questions I get from these. It is not my call to tell you what measurement of platter. Maybe because there hasn't been a single platter that has come out besides like the Denon Prime Go platters that I absolutely couldn't stand. There has not 7-inch, 5-inch, 8-inch, 12-inch, all good. But I don't believe there's nothing wrong with the 7, and I think even the Performer ones are slightly bigger than 7, which is why they do feel a little bigger than like the Rev 7s. But there's nothing wrong with either one of them. Nothing wrong with either one of them. I think if you're going to go any taller, it's going to be 8 inches. That's going to be the highest they go. Because then anything bigger and it's going to start to make the controller look awkward, or it's going to make the controller bigger than it needs to be. You guys want turntables, full turntable systems, but nobody wants to sell them because nobody would buy them. Because they'd be heavy. Okay, it's going to be one of those days. Neuralink official, Rev 7 standalone with screens. Okay. I mean, okay. Okay. Who knows if they'll happen? Who knows? A standalone is going to come out. Somebody's going to make it. I would place my money more on in music than I would place it on anything else. In all honesty, because they already have the standalone, lots of standalone hardware versions. So adding in some moving platters shouldn't be all that complicated. If one were to happen. Okay. The ultimate controller was the SX3 because it had the outputs, 4 channels, and 3 mics. Okay. I will say this. Again, this is all perspective. This has nothing to do with anything based upon real facts. Okay. Now, if we're talking about just features, yes, the SX3 had great features, great sound card. Yes, multiple outputs. You didn't have to use that 4th channel for a microphone anymore because it had the dedicated microphones. But capacitive jogs, But I had an SX2. Okay, had an SX2. That was my first controller ever, and it was good for what it was at the time. Now, then they came out with the DDJ 1000. Never looked back. Even when the SX3 came out, I said, oh, good. It fixed a lot of the problems that I had with the SX2. Still not getting it. Still not getting it. I don't want capacitive jogs. I don't like capacitive jogs. I really don't. To each their own. It's not for me. But the sound is good on it. Okay. Yeah, there you go. If you ask me for my rider, no question. No question if you ask me for my rider. But if you tell me I got to bring it, no. Didn't you hear what I just said? No, it is not class compliant. It is not, unfortunately. Yeah. Rev 7 standalone will let you put 45s. Nobody cares. We have to stop this. Okay. We have to stop this. We have to stop trying to make everything every controller work for every single person. Nobody cares about Plan 45s. Most people don't care about Plan 45s. In all honesty, okay? You're going to have a few people that want to. And again, remember what I'm saying here. If you only have a few people wanting a product because it does something that you need, that's not good business. That is not good business. 45s are a niche. Records. Oh my God. What record is this? Don Curtin. I don't even know what this is. Remix. Must have been dope. I was probably crate digging and something out of this sample was like, ooh, I gotta get this. I'll have to play it again. Most people aren't playing records anymore. I mean, my God, go to a club. Most people are using phases. I got 2 pairs of phases. We're done. Anybody that does it now, it's more of just nostalgia. It's essentially somebody buying like a rotary telephone. Like, ooh, don't you remember rotary? Everything about it was harder. Most people don't care anymore. Most people don't care. Sorry. I don't want to bullshit people. Okay? I don't want to bullshit people. I want to tell you so your expectations can be realistic. You'd have a better chance of making that controller. Did he answer your question? You guys checking up on me? You guys checking up on me today? Is that what we're doing? Is that the crowd I have today? Don Rafa says, oh, Jesus Christ. I need to get a new screen. It's so distorted. When you are testing new products, specifically speakers, do you take your normal speakers in case the new speakers aren't up to the task? No, I do not. If they don't work, they just don't work. Now, remember, I take speakers that are appropriate for the party. All right. So like I took the 90s when I had 150 to 230. That was right in that wheelhouse. Plus I turned them on in the studio. I mean, it wasn't like I opened up the box and just brought them to the party, you know, like I listened to them first. When I took the 70s out, same thing, you know, the party I had was 120 people. So it's like, even on their worst day, they're still going to be fine. But no backups, no backups. I'm going in raw dog. Okay. That's a choice. Semi-stealth. That's a choice. Not working with the Rane Performer had nothing to do with Serato. The Mixstream Pro Go. Wait a minute. Wait, the Mixstream Pro Go. Why do I want to say it does work with Serato? I know it works with. I believe it works with Serato. The Mixstream Pro Go. I'm almost positive. I mean, I guess we could just open up and see, but I'm almost positive. Serato. Serato when you can't spell. Keyboard's in the way. Okay. Serato DJ Pro. Here, let me pop this open. All right. Was it Denon or was it Newmark? What did we say? Mixstream Pro Go was Newmark. Mixstream Pro Go works. It's right there. So you might want to check in on that and figure out why it's not working. Maybe you need to update the firmware on it. Ah, I did it again. That is so funny. That is so funny. Okay, now that I know exactly what it is now. That is so bizarre. That is so bizarre. So there's something going out of my HDMI on my M4 MacBook Pro that when I shut the lid, it puts the ATEM Mini to sleep. I watched my camera go off. Very weird. I'll have to research that and see why that's causing it. It never did that with my M1. Okay. No. The KC12 is going to sound louder than the Maui 28. It really is. It's a hard one. If they send me one, I will do a full-on comparison of every single column array that I own. Okay, let's see. And the price of the KC12s are wild. Haven't had a chance to catch up. Gino Myrtle Beach. Oh, thank you so much, Pam. Thank you for the super chat and joined as a member. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you. Anybody that contributes via the super chat, I appreciate all of you. Trust me. This is a little bit of a difficult thing to do every Thursday. So I thank you for participating. Let's see here. Where is my... I don't know if my wife is here anymore. My wife's been fighting a cold. Why does it say I have a 12 o'clock call today? Why do I have a 12 o'clock anything today? Did somebody change my times? We might be ending this show a little early today because I have a Google Meet at 12 o'clock. Wait, no, that's gotta be yesterday. Hold on. Never mind. We're good. I'm so lost in the days. Anyway, thank you so much, Gino. Appreciate that. What are your thoughts on Behringer? Have no thoughts on Behringer. I've not listened to anything from Behringer in years, so I can't answer that. Remember, guys, I'm not Guitar Center, okay, or Sam Ash, or whatever other company you guys want to use. I only have a certain amount of stuff that I've ever listened to or heard, so there's going to be certain things that I just don't have. KC12s are great. Where are all these KC12 people coming in from? This is crazy. KC12s are great for portability. Every column array is great for portability. Like literally every single one of them. Price? I think I just have a lot of KC12 fans in here. Sheds Moving Heads. Awesome review of the Sheds Moving Heads. Super light. I don't have a Sheds review. I don't have any Sheds products. Jace, you might be comparing them with another company like B-Topper, but I don't have a Sheds anything. Okay. God, my comment section, my chat rate has gone crazy. Okay. I'm going to have to jump around a little bit. Jetpack does not have those table pucks. They are sold out, which is why I have not done my video. Completely sold out. So there's that. All right, let's see here. Do you think prices are going up because equipment are yes, prices are going up. Absolutely, prices are going up. This is not a question. This is a fact. Prices will go up. So if you have something you really want to buy, you probably should buy it now or last week. Can you show me what equipment I need to start with to stream on TikTok? I have my cell phone and my audio USB interface to start with. Is that good? Yes, that's very good. As long as your M audio is class compliant, technically you can just plug right into your USB interface, right into your cell phone. That's all you need, and then just go live. You should be good. Okay. I still put money. You can do whatever the hell you want. You will be wrong. You got the damn. All I said was this, like to your parents when they just like fly off the handle because they've had a shitty ass day. That's what you just got just now. And I say that because I have been talking about the Rev 10 for years. It's not coming out. It's not coming out. It's not coming out. Do you guys still have your Pioneer Express systems? Who is you guys? Am I missing something? Am I being punked? Who? Me and Jesus? Who are you guys? It's just me. Are you asking the crew? The Express systems are good. They're solid. Okay? To me, the highs are very QSC 12.2 sounding, and the lows are like Eon 515 cabinets, somewhere around there. But they're fine. First off, they had something like this. Secondly, the file would be huge. It would be huge because it's not, you're still taking, it's the same O's and ones. It's just zeros and ones. It's just 3 files versus 1 file now. So I don't know that you might gain some audio quality. That's the only thing, but you're going to have, your system's going to be huge. All right. Are you planning to attend weekend 2 at Coachella? I'm not planning to attend any weekend at Coachella. Ever. No, thank you. No, thank you. Sorry. No, thank you. That does nothing for me. I went to Lollapalooza, back when it was back out here. I went to Summer Jam back when it was, when it was still here. I have no urge to go to Coachella. Like, not at all. What am I? 18? My son would go to Coachella, not me. I'm not going to Coachella unless I got VIP passes. Absolutely not. Okay, let's see here. Let me jump down. Oh, Mac Attack. This is what happened. Mac Attack. This is what it is. So it and somebody might have answered it below, but I'm just going to say it anyway. Whoever asked that question. Mixstream Pro Go works with Serato DJ Lite. It does not work with Serato DJ Pro unless you have a Serato DJ Pro license. So what you need to do is download Serato DJ Lite. So anytime you need to use that one, you can run it or buy a license. Now, even if you have Serato DJ Lite, it'll still take your Serato database. So you're not going to have to like redo anything. It'll take all your crates and everything. It's just a matter of there's certain features. It's simple features. Basically, like it only allows you to use like the first 4 pads. You don't have page edits and things like that. But you need Serato DJ Lite. Sometimes I have to restart 4 times to get to work. That's bizarre. All right. I'm having some trouble with Algorithm DJ. I figured out all the hiccups. Oh, good. I'm glad it all works out for you. Install incognito. Guys, I shouldn't have to do any of that. Okay. Everybody's trying to fix solutions. This is the problem with DJs. Everybody wants to fix everybody's problem. Sometimes the problem is not, I've had multiple MacBooks. I've had MacBooks since 2010. Never shut off my camera when I close my lid. That is a new thing. And that is okay. That is okay. I will figure it out. I will absolutely figure it out. Not that big of a deal. We'll survive. All right. ICOA 12s or 15s. The ICOA is a very good sub. Very good sub. Okay. All of them. Very good subs. The problem with ICOA, the LD line, is very simple. They're humongous. They sound good, but they're humongous. So that's the only issue you have to deal with. My company, we're not sponsored by Express. We don't have a whole bunch of them. We have one set. Most of our speakers are simple. Most of our speakers, we have 3 sets. Three sets of JBL SRXs split between 818s and 828s. We have 3 sets of QSC K12.2s and K118s. We have 1 Mackie SRM system. We have 1 Express system with the 15s and the 18-inch subs. We have, let's see here, 2 Bose L32s with the sub 2s. Not 2 Bose, 2 pairs. We have 2 LD 28G3s. We have a Maui 44 G2. And then we have an SRX 900 system that my partner uses. Evolve 70s, Evolve 90s, and then a whole bunch of like mixed tops, somewhere around there. Oh, the Color Key. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you. Appreciate that. Should I buy movers and totems or uplights? I have the Gig Bar ILS ready. Wedding coming up soon. Help. J. Crew. I think you know the answer to this. I think you know the answer. First off, how am I on one? I'm not. I'm just being honest. And I'm always honest. I haven't seen your name on here. Maybe you're just seeing it. This is we don't bullshit here. We do not bullshit on this show. That is not what we do. You know, we don't do that. This is my time that I'm taking away that I could be doing other things like shooting videos, editing my website, you know, finishing up on whatever projects I have. But I come here every Thursday and I do this for 2 to 3 hours. So we don't bullshit here. We don't. Okay. So J. Crew, here's the honest truth here. Okay. So, my opinion, everything I'm saying is my opinion, but, I'm going to say this. You buy what makes you money. Okay. Buy what makes you money. I know for a fact that you can sell a client uplighting around the room and make yourself, you know, $300 to $500 just by bringing them. I don't know any client that's going to pay you $300 to $500 to bring some movers. Now, they might appreciate the movers and they might see, and there's some party planners who are like, oh yeah, make sure you bring your movers. Clients don't see that. Clients only see the uplights. Clients want the uplights. Buy the uplights. Your ILS is plenty. You know, if you want to add a little more washes, what I've been doing for my ILS, and I just started doing it for all of my for all of them, is take your Gig Bar and then get yourself like a hex bar. Not hex bar. What do they call that box? It's a little box. Hex, I can't think of it. The one with the little designs on the front. Anyway, it's essentially a wash, but it's a super bright wash. So I put that right underneath the washes. I get enough light for pretty much every party if I'm doing those smaller ones. Nothing wrong with movers. I love movers, but they're not the end all. Okay. I mean, yeah. I mean, but essentially that's the A28s from JBL, and they hit like crazy. In fact, I can't even use it all the time because of it. Basement jack set with lit. I'm sure it was. I'm not paying all that money for that. Nope. What is your thoughts on OBS to use live stream in TikTok or one of my thoughts? Where are you guys coming from today? My thoughts are use whatever you can. I'm using OBS right now. If you're comfortable with OBS, use OBS. I know OBS has the ability to connect to TikTok. Because you remember, you have to have over a certain number of people to even get in views and everything to even be able to use OBS. They won't let you use it until you get to a certain level. So just keep that in mind. But there's plenty of programs out there. OBS. What's another one? I mean, OBS is the standard. You know, everybody else is, you know, trying to just make it a little better. But OBS is the standard. Okay. I'm not irritable today. Shut up. Anyway, you guys are trying to answer questions that don't exist. That is not the problem. I appreciate the thought experiment because yes, this right here would make a lot of sense if I were using this computer for this screen. You get what I'm saying? I'm not. I'm just plugging in an HDMI that's going into my ATEM. I have multiple channels on my ATEM. Okay? Here's the thing. It's not turning off my ATEM. It's turning off my camera, which has nothing to do with the ATEM and the MacBook. That's what I'm saying. Something is communicating, but it had nothing to do with being put to sleep at all. I'm thinking that maybe because I have a layer in there for my camera, that it's causing some sort of confusion because of the layer, but none of it matters. It's not a big deal. Ariel says, you excited for the Rain 1 MK2? Anything at all you can say about it? I said it. You guys got to watch my videos. You got to watch my videos. I feel like a lot of people are come here, but they don't receive notifications because I did a video on that at NAMM. You know, that's the only issue. Yeah, I get that. It would be nice if they were in white. I agree. I mean, battery power. I'm on the fence with battery power. Movers and totems. See, Jake Crew Live. See, everybody's got their answer for you. You don't need me. You don't need me. Well, you know what? I already have kids. I already have kids, Lou. I don't need any more kids. I got a 13-year-old little girl that I love to death, but oh my God, does she asks and does some of the dumbest things sometimes. Yesterday, she threw a spoon when my wife was funneling food into the garbage disposal, and our bar is, you know, kitchen bars and stuff like that. There's a sink and then there's the table. She decided to throw a spoon into the sink when the garbage disposal was on. Just be 13. My 18-year-old, just different. Now, I know that we all came from buy a new chair, buy some better ears so you can hear my squeaks more. This is my chair, baby. This is my chair. This shit is free. This shit is free. Free video. Free video for all of you guys to help as much as I can. The only caveat is the trade-in is you got to hear a squeaky chair sometimes. These are the tails, the squeaky chairs. Anyway, Feta in the building. What's going on, fam? Okay. Yeah. I asked about suggestions on a few Mac options a couple weeks ago. Finally got the Mac and getting it set up. Absolutely loving the MacBook Pro. Thank you for your suggestions and info. See, somebody likes my information. Sorry, guys. Sorry, can't be up to your level. You want me to coddle people and say it's going to be okay. Daddy loves you. I'm going to say that to my own kids. Okay, obviously I'm going a little extreme right at this moment. I do love my kids most of the time. You can't be a parent and act like that you always like your kids. I don't always like my kids. I don't own a pair of RCFs. No, I don't. First off, because for whatever reason, nobody uses RCFs in California. I only know like one guy that uses RCFs. So even when I was looking at speakers before I started doing the whole YouTube thing and everything, RCF was not even on my radar. Like not even remotely on my radar. To this day, even with how successful RCF is, people don't know about them in California. It is an East Coast thing. And then whatever, and then whatever, people share information, but yeah. So I don't own any RCFs. Nope. Maybe at one point I will. I'm not sure. Yes, they are. They are actually probably the most expensive speakers that you can buy compared to other column arrays. You're very welcome, pal. You're very welcome. Yeah. Okay. Lou, you are correct. I understand what you're saying. I do. And I agree with you. Like I said, there are party planners and people that are like, I want an amazing light show. You're like, well, if you want an amazing light show, then you got to get these movers and you got to get that. Like, I get it. I do understand what you're saying. I just think that most people, uplights are the sellable piece. It takes more to convince people about the movers than it does about room accents. That's all I'm saying. I have at least. Okay. So in general, I probably send out anywhere between 50 to 100 uplights every week. Every week they go out. And remember, just do the math on how much you charge per uplight. Some people may charge 20, some people charge 40, it depends on what it is. You can do your own math and figure out. And of course, look, I have a lot more parties on a given Saturday. I'll do upwards of 9 events on a Saturday night. So I have to have more lighting than the average person does. But still, I make a lot of money off my uplights. A lot of money. Like just free money. So I'm going to personally say uplights, but every party's different. Every party's different. DJ Dash, now you're talking about two different things. Okay. Now you're talking about the fact that your ILS is not bright enough. That's what you're ultimately saying. And if you want a brighter party, then yeah, you definitely can get some, but it's not really the movers. You can get yourself a couple of washes, a couple of dedicated washes, because the washes that are on the ILS, they're decent, but they're not very strong. Some dedicated washers, and you could, if you really wanted to be cool, you could control your uplights, put them all around the room, and put them a little heavier around the dance floor. And trust me when I tell you, that would give you a crap ton of lights. I've done parties with no movers, no gig bar, and just controlled the up lights in the room. And that was a vibe the whole night. So it just depends. It just depends. Okay, let's see here. DJ Bad in the building. What's going on, fam? I'm not angry. I'm legitimately not angry. You guys are taking things too sense. You guys are being thin-skinned today. Is the moon out of alignment? Are we in Jupiter crossing? My camera is not Minolta. No, it's the A7 IV. I've never had a problem. The problem started when I got the M4, the MacBook M4. That's when it started. It's never happened on any other thing. It's just now. It's very bizarre. It's absolutely sending some sort of information out. I just don't know how it's getting to the camera, because the camera is on an output only and the MacBook is on an input only. It should not even be communicating with the camera. That's why I'm saying I got to do some research and see what's going on. Okay. All right, color key spot mover light. Okay, better than the other chair where he disappeared. It's the same chair. Look, in all honesty, I'm buying a new chair. Okay, just so I don't have to deal with you punks anymore. But I'm buying a new chair. But I want a chair that has arms on it too, and those are a little harder to find. Remember, I'm elevated, guys. This chair is like a it's like almost like a bar stool chair. Okay, so I'm literally, my feet are dangling, like I'm not on the floor. I mean, I guess technically I could just drop the whole thing down and get a regular chair. You know, I could do that and then just get a regular chair. But that feels weird. That feels weird. I feel like you can like see my underwear, even though you can't. But I like being higher up. Oh, that's too high. Okay. I'm on the playback. We're not even done yet. But thank you for starting at the proper time. Okay, let's see here. I don't know what it is about JBL in general. This is the funny thing about JBL. They bring out a average column array and people swear by it. Meanwhile, the 900 subs are probably some of the best sounding, hard hitting subs, and not even that heavy, that I've ever used. My partner has them. They're too big for me. Just for my truck and stuff. But oh my God, he's never run them on full blast ever. They sit at like 15. So like, let's say if you're looking at a clock, they're at like 9 o'clock. I mean, they run super, super low. They are extreme subs. I don't know why more people don't talk about them. Maybe I need to do a video on them. Maybe I should talk about them. Anyway. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with any speakers. They're all, you can make any speaker sound decent. And Peavey at one point was like an amazing speaker company. They really were. You know, the Peavey guitar amps were some of the must-have buys. No problem with that. All right. If you put uplights on the dance floor, how do you prevent people from kicking them over? Why are your uplights on the dance floor? They're supposed to be on a wall, or like next to your furniture or next to your speakers. They shouldn't be on the dance floor. So if they're on the dance floor, take them off the dance floor. Because you don't prevent them. They will be kicked. Anything on the dance floor is open season. You know, It's like dropping food on the floor. Your dogs are going to eat it, whether you want them to or not. So there's that. You don't put uplights on the dance floor. You don't put drinks on the speakers. Okay. So here's the funny thing, Showcase. Honestly, this is a very funny that you say this. Okay. DJ Kova said the same thing. He said, you have a very New York attitude. Here's the funny thing. I've never been to New York. I've never been. I want to go, but I've never been. But I've always thought that I was born on the wrong coast, because all of my favorite artists, East Coast artists, back in the 90s when music was pop, I was doing Tribe and, you know, De La Soul, Jay Dilla. Well, I wasn't really a West Coast fan. I mean, don't get me wrong. I loved NWA like everybody else, but like most of that stuff, never really into. But East Coast, all day, all day. I think it's funny. Maybe in my past life, I was from New York. Okay. Ariel says, I'm DJing a wedding in June. I need friends. Ariel, what do you have? Do you have anything yet for this wedding in June? Anything? I need furniture and speakers. It is outdoors and like 100 people. What do you recommend for entry 12 and 15s for furniture that'll fit? Why do you need furniture? Why? And I'm asking that question in all honesty. This is me talking directly to you. Why do you believe you need furniture? Because everybody else has furniture? Do you just want furniture? The fact that you're saying you're DJing a wedding in June kind of tells me that maybe you're not doing a lot of parties. So why spend the money on furniture? Or is it you have a mediocre setup for your house parties and now you have a wedding, so you got to like really like step your game up? Don't buy something for one event. Okay? If you got 50 weddings lined up over the next 2 or 3 years, you know, then consider it. But don't just get yourself into debt just because. Or maybe you live at home with your parents and then you got all the money in the world. I don't know. I can't answer that. To answer your question, what do you recommend for entry? If you're only using highs, tops, you're not using subs, I would use a 15 because a 15 gives you more range. Okay. The 12s are typically fine if you have a sub, but like a JBR SRX, 815 that we have a lot of in our studio, I could run those full range all day and every day and they're fine. But I would not do that with my 12.2s. Those require a sub, in my opinion. So to each their own. What do you recommend for entry and for furniture that will fit turntables and S7? Oh my God. Okay. You're going to have to go with like something like a Danny Max. I mean, you could go with like the Hovers or something like that, but like for mobile DJs, I prefer to recommend people that do this for mobile DJs. So the Danny Max booth, which has 4 turntables and a mixer, it is humongous. I would never own one because I don't think I could fit that in my truck. I think you need like a cargo van or like a real, big truck in order to make that happen. So, explain yourself, Ariel, so I know what I'm talking about and who I'm talking to. Because there's too many variables in your question. I had a DJ buddy put a drink on his not yet. No. Yeah, that happens. Time. I'm waiting for time. We've been so busy building. Look, we've been in business for 17 years. Okay. And even to this day, we continue to introduce new products and grow the business. We don't like to remain stagnant. And in doing that requires the owners to have a lot more work. Sure, I could have just a DJ company and, send out the DJs every week and we'd be fine. But I'm trying to make that real money. And the real money is in production. There's plenty of money in DJing, okay? But the money that can retire you is in the production. The dance floors, the furniture, full lighting installs, okay? Not just bringing some up lights or bringing some movers, but full lighting installs, lighting the tables, gobos on the walls, all of these things. The margin, the profit margins are so much higher than if you were to bring people in. Anyway, so I've been really busy. Have I told you guys? I told you guys last week. All right, so we just added 2 more contracts in for May. And when I tell you, okay, we have We have 54 events in May. 54. So, that's a lot of parties. That is a lot of parties. So yeah, sometimes I don't have time to do things. And in those 54 parties, I think somewhere around 9 of them are out of state. Not out of state or the Bay Area. A lot of people think that, oh, well, you're in San Francisco. That's still in California. It's basically not. It's basically another state. Okay. So we're in the Bay Area. We're in Arizona. We're in Vegas. And then I'm doing an LED wall in San Francisco on May 3rd. So I got to fly in, do it, fly back. That's May 3rd. I'm doing another LED wall. I'm doing an event in Arizona on the 17th. Then I have another LED wall on the 24th and an LED wall on the 31st. Multiple lighting installs. There's just a lot. There's a lot. G0. Yeah. Okay. So this is my opinion. I feel like, in all honesty, based upon what I've been hearing and seeing from all the other people out there, most people don't bring a big enough speaker for the parties they're on. There is a growing amount of people that I've been seeing on forums talking about, oh, you don't need larger speakers. People don't need good bass. Bass is overrated. Like, these are real words. These are real world words. People are like, I remember when all we had were tops. I don't care if it was 1976. People want bass now. People want bass now. I've been doing this for 50 years. Never had a problem. Okay. Anyway, I think, I've brought in LD28s once. We were in the Bay Area, and I knew this party planner typically has them in big rooms, but I also knew there was only 100 people. And I know everybody always says, a lot of people say, bring the speakers for the size of the room you're going to be in, not the amount of people, which I've said this before. I have mixed emotions on this. I agree and don't agree at the same time. I believe that the speakers should be big enough and loud enough for people to be able to hear speeches all around the room. But it has nothing to do with the subwoofers, or the full sound on the dance floor. They need to be able to hear speeches. So that's the key. But on the dance floor, they may not need humongous speakers, even if the room is big. I did a party recently. It was in the Bay, and it was like I was saying, and it was a big room. The dance floor, no lie. The dance floor was, they brought in an LED dance floor. I don't know if they didn't want to pay for it or they felt like they didn't have enough room, but it was like a 10 by 8. It was just a long rectangle, small. I didn't need to bring any big speakers for that. So I was glad I brought my 28s because you could only fit 30 people on the dance floor. So to each their own, everybody's different. I literally lean into how many people is it? Oh, it's 130 people. Okay. This will do. It's 150. This will do. It's 200. This will do. Because in general, the more people you have, the bigger the room you need. So I don't think about it based upon the room. Okay. What the hell? Who are you? Who are you talking about? Because I know you're not talking to me, BB. You're out your goddamn mind if you think you're talking about me. I will show you New York in a minute. Anyway. No problem. I'm a fan of this. If you don't have it, at least have the planner literally bring you a table. They'll put a linen on that matches the tables in the room. So at least you'll be matching. I mean, there's nothing worse than coming into something and it's like it doesn't work with the decor, but there's nothing wrong with the table. I think people that we all do it. Okay. You get caught up in the, oh my God, look how beautiful this is. And look what they're doing here and look what they're doing there. I need this. This is why I'm not getting booked. This is why I'm not doing this. This is why I'm not doing this. You get what I'm saying? Like in general, it's us. It has nothing to do with what the client is saying. Now, again, full transparency. My Danny Max booth, gets compliments every time I use it. Every time I use it. Okay. I've been using my Danny Max booth for, I don't know, probably a year and a half. Yeah, probably about a year and a half. Every time I bring it out, party planner's like, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. Now, could it have been the same with some other booth? Probably. But honestly, I get compliments. Now, has anybody booked me because of my furniture? Maybe. I can probably count on my hand. But what they are booking is the idea. The idea that, oh, this company spends a lot of money to look good. And if it's fake it till you make it. Okay. I mean, that's ultimately what I'm saying. Somebody buys a nice car and they're a realtor and they have their BMW or their, Mercedes or whatever. And they drive you to the places. You go, oh, you have a nice car. You must be really good at your job. That's all it is. That's all it is. But a dude can walk up in a minivan and you get in and you still get the house you want. The quality's still there. They're still really good at their job. So do whatever you have to. But the whole point of running a business and owning a DJ business is to make money. All businesses, no matter how much you thought you wanted to do this, or you love DJing, or it's your hobby and this is all you've ever wanted to do, all businesses need to make money. If they don't make money, they're not a business. Okay? So you have to get into an understanding that anything you buy needs to be recouped. You need to recover that cost. If you're not recovering the cost, you're losing money. Bad business. Bad business. Don't buy anything you can't in general. Okay? In general. Don't buy anything you can't recoup in 3 to 4 events. Okay? Maybe 5 if it's super expensive. We just bought our dance floor. Okay? We bought our dance floor and I think it's on the boat right now. We bought it before the tariffs kicked in. Oh, God, I couldn't even imagine 245% tariffs on that. There were already some crazy people trying to charge $20,000 in shipping. I couldn't imagine how much that would have cost. And I mean, I can imagine, it's math. We wouldn't have had a floor. So we bought the floor. It should be delivered. We paid somewhere around $12,000 for the floor. LED light up dance floor. And we've already talked to just 3 party planners, and they all have varying price points for what they charge for their floors, or what I guess the client is expected to pay for their floors. You know, I've had people say $5,000 for a 20 by 20 rental. I've had people say $7,000. I've had people say $4,000. So doing the math, somewhere around there. Well, I always think conservative, $4,000. 3 rentals. We'll say 4 when you factor in, you know, the fact that you got to pay somebody to be there. 4 rentals, it's paid for itself. Now, every time we do it, it's pure profit, less the labor. LED walls cost us money. We've already recouped our cost. They were expensive. So you're not running a business to just be cool. You're running a business to be profitable. All right. And if you're starting early on, your priority should be getting bookings and earning a profit. Now, your profits may be smaller in the beginning because you may be competing with other people and you want to come in lower so then you can get those bookings. Okay. And then you slowly build on. So while your profits are low on your booking, the way to make money is via your add-ons, uplights, movers, video screens, photo booths. You know, these are all ways to make more money. As you continue to, you know, every year increase your prices, is the more you become known, the more you can charge. Next thing you know, you're considered the best, you can charge a higher price. But you're still making all that other money from all those other things. We're not running a business. What they say? What's the big thing? I'm not running a charity. Businesses are supposed to make money. That's why when people talk about if they should just make a Rev 10 or Rev 12. If they gave a 12-inch platter, I'd buy it in an instant. Business suggests that most people wouldn't. So why spend the money on the R&D? Why spend the money on the manufacturing? Why spend the money on the marketing and getting it out there just for, 100 people to buy your product? Meanwhile, you made 30,000 units. It's not good business. Businesses should be profitable. They should. What time is it? 12:46. All right, hold on 1 second. I know this is always a question. Hey, how's it going? Oh, thank you for answering the door. You guys available on July 1st? Yeah, we're available. Do you have a brochure I can take a look at? Here you go. This all looks good. Can you send me out a contract? Here's your contract. Oh, thank you very much. Okay, see here. Just go ahead and sign it and send it in your deposit. Okay. Are you gonna sign it? If you need to take some time, go ahead. Just send it in when you're ready. All right, thank you. Hey, sorry I took a little while, but I'm finally ready to sign the contract. So if you can just send me. Yeah, we are no longer available for that date. You're not available? Sorry. Well, can you recommend another DJ? Okay, I got maybe 15 minutes left. Will my pair of QSC 118s get swallowed up? Because I think I'm going to hit the gym before my meeting, so I don't have to do it tonight. Will my pair of QSC 118s get swallowed up in very high ceilings? No, the 118s are really good subs. I have no issue with those subs. And they bleed a little bit, so you're going to get... Subs are multi-directional. I don't know if there's a ceiling that tall that can stop them from sounding good. I do want to get a facade table for event, looking at a nice, little nicer than my table and coffin. I'm not ready for a Bunner Max booth. I mean, yeah, so you're talking about like the Pro X. They work well. They're easy to set up. They're fast. There's enough space. I don't have a problem with that. All right, I'm going to fly through some of these. Well, obviously, yes, but now you're dealing with a lot more weight and a lot more drama. Trust me, that every system I had 7 systems, all Cerwin Vega earthquakes and QSC 40, 50 amps. Every one of them. And my tops needed to be amplified too, so I had some QSC 2450s amps. And my God, that amp case was ridiculous. Yeah, don't know. That's a good question though. Get thank you. Your LED, no, I build them every time. We get in there. Usually speaking, we set up transportation for them on Fridays, because we were doing them on Saturday mornings, and they were just late every time. Not late, but like we should be done by 1 o'clock. So we preload them on Friday. The crew picks them up. The roadies pick it up on Saturday morning, typically around 8 o'clock, 8 or 9. They drive to the venue. We unload. We get it all set up. Hopefully we're done by 1 o'clock. I'm fine if it's done by 1 o'clock, 1 or 2 tops. Usually our parties, like cocktail starts at like, 5 or 6, typically 6 o'clock. So if I'm doing the wall, that gives me a couple hours just to make sure everything's working properly. I can chill, just not stress over getting everything done, especially if you're dealing with like pixel mapping or, especially pixel mapping, period. That just takes a lot more time. So yeah, anyway. Best column setup for outdoor event, 100 people. I haven't used every column, so I can't answer that. 100 people though, the 28s would be just fine for that. G3s. And I'm sure probably the 70s are going to be fine. I don't know about the 50s. I didn't love the bass that was coming out of them in the first place. I'm a bass guy. If you're not a bass person, you can take anything. I'm in this business for 45 years. Well, I didn't say I wasn't in this business. I just said that my company has been around for 17 years. I've been doing this for a long time. You retire when you're damn ready to retire. Okay? Simple as that. You retire when you want to. If you're still loving it, do it. Do you need trussing for your LED wall? Yeah, you need something. You have to have some sort of support wall for it. And we have both. We have 3 different types of trussing. One that you can build up. That's ground support. Then we have a full trussing where we hang, and then we have the top trussing where we, literally hang. I prefer mounting it directly to the truss. I get more flexibility with that, and actually less materials needed, in all honesty. I mean, Look, this is what I will say about this statement. That's the client's fault. That's not the DJ's fault. You know, I mean, it's not their fault. You give them the incorrect information. I mean, I don't know if they think that like, we're like the caterers where you're like, well, we have 300 people. Oh, well, I got to charge you twice as much. No. We're only 150 people. Oh, okay. Then this will be enough. I don't know, but that's on them. That's not on the DJ. I would have laughed. I still would have probably went back and got my subs though. It's Rick Webb's fault. He makes me want these expensive things. He almost made me buy a coach bus. To each their own. Do they compliment the booth based on color? Would you still get compliments if your booth was black per se? I think I'd still get compliments, Steve. I think I've had it outside where the lights weren't shown at all. So it's hard to say. I just think the booth being so sleek that's what they are appreciating. You know, I mean, all the chords are completely built in. It's just, yeah. What's your method for reading a crowd when you first start playing? Are there specific signals you look to gauge if you should shift energy up or down? My method for reading a crowd is looking at people's faces and body language. It's not rocket science. You know, if I play a song and I look up and I look out and they do this, and not just one person, F that person. I don't care about the one person. But if like there's multiples that kind of was like, or they're not singing or their dancing goes from this to this, those are all signs for me. All signs. So that's the way I attack it. And sometimes it's just a tweak. Like maybe they love the genre, just not that song. So, and I'm in and out of songs so fast, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, common sense is how I read crowds. I mean, in general, you've been DJing long enough. I mean, I tell people because clients are always like, we need to do this. We need to have this meeting, blah, blah, blah. And, we're waiting till the last minute to have this meeting. And I'm like, look, in all honesty, I don't need you to tell me what kind of music you like. I need you to tell me what music you like for your vibe, but I don't really need you to tell me what music that works for the crowd, because you don't know your crowd. You think you know your crowd, client, but you don't know your crowd, because there's a difference between a few people in a car listening to music versus the mob. Okay. I've said this before. A crowd is a mob. A crowd together is a mob. When it's just a few people, it's a crowd. But mob think is different than crowd think. You know, just like if you were, say somebody was boycotting somebody or protesting something, and you got a crowd that's protesting, but then you have a mob. The mob no longer listens to the same things that the crowd does. So I approach it as a whole and go from there. But yeah, just reading the crowd, just experience. You do it long enough, you kind of know what works and what doesn't work. You know what triggers you can put out there musically that will give you the information that you need to see where you need to go. Why do you think This Is How We Do It was such a song that everybody had to play in every party? I haven't dropped This Is How We Do It in a long time because there are other songs, but like that was kind of your marker at a certain time. This is how we do it. Jump around, you know, but now it's different. But there's tons of music that there are markers that you play in every genre to kind of feel, where are you? What do you like? And the better you are at DJing, the faster you can get to what they like. I mean, I've walked into parties. I did this one party where the client's like, this is what we like. We know what we like. And I got there and their crowd wanted nothing to do with what we were playing. So finally, because I had told the client earlier, I'm like, this stuff isn't necessarily going to work. And she was like, no, it'll work. And then when it finally didn't work, she was like, okay, go ahead and change it. And because of the fact that we were forced to play her music, so long, the crowd got jaded. Okay. They no longer trusted us. Right. So I'm playing music and they're just kind of expecting. I'm like, okay, here, it's not working here. And at a certain point, I'm like, screw this. And I just start going hard. Bam, bam, bam. I'm like, I'm going to find you. Your frequency is somewhere around here. And then after like maybe 6 songs, bam, found them. Right. I saw a spark. Some people started moving a little faster. Bam, hit them with another one. Okay, now here we go. All right, I got you now. I got you. And that's the key. It's just knowing how to read a crowd. Because some people will look up and still not read the crowd properly. Like looking up it's more than just looking up, you know. Running a business thoughts. What are your most effective strategy for landing those first few crucial bookings? I didn't have this problem because did I focus more on anything? I don't focus. Okay. This is actually a very good question. Okay. So, but I'm going to explain it in a way that you're not going to like, because I don't sell. I don't sell to clients. I never sell to clients. I don't sell a client anything. I talk to clients. I've sold more parties off of simple conversation than any product I've sold. I've had conversations with prospective clients, and we're talking about kids, sports, cars. And when we end the call, clients like, hey, oh, okay, well, I really feel comfortable with you. I love everything about you. Send me the contract. We never talked about product. Oh, we didn't. Okay. You want to sell? Don't sell. Talk to your clients. Listen to your clients. When you answer the phone, the first thing out of your mouth shouldn't be, well, you know, what do you need? I have this, I have this, I have this, I have this. People feel pushed. They feel like you're a car salesman. Some people like car salesmen. I won't lie to you. There's certain people that are literally like, tell me your spiel. Hey, check 1, 2. Tell me your spiel. What's good about you? This isn't going to go well for either one of us, because I no longer want to talk to you and you're not going to want to hear my conversation. So, just talk to the people. Just talk to them. That's my most effective strategy. Talk to them. Listen to what they're saying. You know, rarely do I ever, the first questions typically I ask are, you know, after we've just kind of shot the shit. Okay, well, what kind of party are you looking for? You know, what are your expectations? I'd like to give you what you want. So tell me what you're looking for. But that's much later on in the conversation. I have not heard the Rockville Titans. No. Ariel, I wanted to explain more, but can't type much here. I've been DJing for a while, mainly do bars, but I want to start entering the event DJ space. I've used regular tables of scores before. Do not change what you're doing. Okay. Do not change anything as far as your DJ setup, like furniture. Don't change anything until you start to get consistent bookings. Okay. Because it'd be a waste of money. You have the thumb goes, but you feel like you need more. You do. Thumb goes are not going to be enough for a standard party. I was looking into the LDs because they are fair price and I've heard good things. I don't have a problem with the LD 28s, G3s. They're one of my favorite column arrays. And then use the thumb goes for like cocktail speakers or ceremony sound. I do something like that, you know, or if the money is an issue, then yes, go after the ICOA series. If you have the room in your vehicles, go after the ICOA series. It's going to be cheaper, you know? I mean, even the Mackeys would be good enough if you got like the Mackie, you know, SRMs. I wouldn't really go anything lower than that, but the SRMs, you'd be fine. You'd be fine. Okay. Do I think I should charge based more on your equipment? No. You charge, you don't charge. Okay. So what you're describing here are qualifications. Qualifications to get you booked. All right. You're going to need speakers. You're going to need lights. You're going to need a setup. You're going to need the skill of DJing. You're going to need to be able to read a crowd. These are all qualifications. But those aren't reasons to raise your prices. You raise your prices based upon consistency, quality of consistency, or consistency of quality. One of those two. You raise your rates then. You've built a name, you know. And now again, I'm not talking about add-ons. Okay, add-ons are different. You can definitely sell those, but in general, if you're first starting out, I don't care who you are. It's going to be hard for you to be like, what's the top guy out there? That's what I'm charging. It's going to be hard. You know, your rates are based upon, yeah. And you can say, I know there's this argument where, you know, the reason why you pay so much is because of the quality of the gear. Yes, but absolutely no. Like, we validate it. Like, oh, you want a good party? Well, this is what it takes to have a good party. This type of system. All right. Because if they weren't paying for this type of quality, they could get away with some, you know, with a boombox and an iPhone. You get what I'm saying? So yes, the quality of your stuff comes into play, but it's not the biggest piece of the pie. The biggest piece of the pie is your skill sets, obviously, but the quality of your product. And your product is everything, not just one thing. So you can have a mediocre, you know, sub, but you're good. You know, your light's good. It's all one big thing, if that makes any sense. So that's how you set your prices. And most importantly, you set your prices based upon market. Okay? The market. What's the market charging around there? What's the best charging? What's the worst charging? Okay, where do you fall in there? When we first started, the market was at a certain price point. We went $500 below the market of the best. That's how we got our bookings. I can't charge what this established company's charging. These people don't know me. I have no reputation. The quality of your events consistently leads to more people talking about you, telling all their friends that if you got to go with somebody, it's got to be them. If everybody that people are talking to are saying, we got to go to you, it's time to raise your prices. It's time to raise your prices. You know? Okay. Somewhat of a controversy among you big time YouTubers taking requests or not. That's not controversial. Oh, where'd I go? Hold on. I can talk about it right now. I take requests all the time. Now, do I need those? Okay. I think the problem with the question is some of the assumptions. Okay. Because some people will say, oh no, I take requests because you don't know what they're listening to. And that helps you kind of figure out what kind you listen to. That's not an argument I want to hear from DJs, in all honesty, because that only tells me you're not doing the job. You're not doing the research. You're not doing the work, because in general, you should know what they're listening to. If you're taking requests in order to figure out what's good, you're not doing your job. And you shouldn't be making as much money. No, I'm kidding. But yes, I take requests all the time. Most of the time that they're going to ask for songs I was going to play anyway. But every so often, maybe there was a song you wanted to play, but then you forgot it. Oh, damn, I didn't play that one song. Oh yeah, absolutely. Here you go. You get what I'm saying? But I don't have a problem with requests at all. I take requests on private events. I take requests on my club events. I take requests. Doesn't mean I have to play them, but I absolutely take requests. So if there are controversial big time DJ YouTubers, they can kick rocks. Sorry. I think that's We spend a lot of time telling people what they should be doing. And sometimes the advice is incorrect. The advice is incorrect sometimes. So, if it works for you, it works for you. I like to keep it real. But I also don't believe that every single way that I do things are going to work for other people. You get what I'm saying? There's something. Okay, for instance, there's a lot of people out there that are like, oh, you got to have your crates. They have to be like spotless every time you work. It's not me. I make crates all the time. I have a lot of mixes in my head. I don't even have crates. I just know the songs that work with them and I just mix it. Does that work for everybody? No, it does not. But every single person is different and you got to figure out what works for you. I will help along the way, not tech support. I will help along the way if I can, if I know anything about it. If I don't, I'm going to tell you, I don't know everything about everything. I have not used every single product known to man. So sometimes you're going to get, I don't know. And the I don't know is valuable because it's just, I don't personally know. It's more valuable than me saying to you, oh, well, then you should do this and you should do that. And based upon my experience, not using this product, I think you should do this. That's not good advice. So I'm going to tell you, I don't know, and keep it moving, but to each their own. Who is using KeySync for mixing? I mix in key, but not using KeySync. I personally would not use KeySync. The reason why is because it changes the key of the song. And when you change the key of the song, you affect your guests or the people dancing. You affect them in a way that they don't know how quite to put it, but it's affecting them. So everybody's different. Everybody's different. And, but I try to keep the same. Haven't you ever like changed the key, done your mix and then flip back to the right key? That feels weird. Feels weird. So I don't do that type of key shifting. I'd rather just remove a bass line and then just mix it in the incorrect key. So that's my opinion. Okay. A couple more minutes. Yes. Agreed. Yeah. Always take the conservative approach. Clients, especially when I'm talking to them and they're like, well, this person said that, oh my God, you're going to have the best party with me. I have never once said to any client, we're going to make your party the best. We are better than everybody else. I've never said that. What I have said is we're going to do our best. We're not going to stop trying. We consistently deliver a solid product. That's what I say. See those words? You see the way I've said this in a way that is informative, but also slightly ambiguous. Because I don't want people to turn around and say, if the party wasn't to their expectations, and again, expectations are relative. Okay? What you might consider to be successful, somebody else might think sucks. All right. So you can't necessarily please everybody. So if they come back to me and say, you said my party was going to be the best ever. And I said, no, I said we would try our best. And I did. Didn't work out like we planned. You know what I'm saying? I didn't say it like that, but you get what I'm saying? Like that's the key. That's the key. This is not a question I'm going to answer. This is different from everybody in the world. Every city, every state, every county, it's all different. So I don't have price points for you. You have to just look at your market, see what the market is charging. Like right now, we charge more than the market. Okay? We charge more than the market. We do have price points that fall in line with the market, but like for our premium offerings, we charge more. We're higher than the market. That's always risky, but our consistency has proven to people that you're buying into knowing that you're going to have a good party. That's it. That's it. You know, so, and when people call me and they're like, oh my God, you're way too expensive. You're this much more than this company. We know. Well, hey, look, you don't have to book us. We understand we're expensive. We know, you know, when people look at like our guaranteed rates, oh my God, why is it so expensive? We know it's expensive. You don't have to go that route. We have other pricing, but I want the guarantee. But it's expensive. It's expensive for you. Meanwhile, I have plenty of clients that not only book the guaranteed rate, which is a good, like, couple of thousand over what everybody else is paying, and we're out of state. So now they're paying another, you know, $3,000 to $5,000 on that. And they want us to bring in some LED walls. And now, you know, there's another, you know, $8,000, $9,000 there. And they don't even flinch when they pay it. So what I'm saying is, it's all relative. It's all relative. But I spent a lot of time getting to this level, you know, spent a lot of time, 17 years to be exact. And funniest thing about it is, we've achieved, which is so stupid because everything's so damn expensive that we're not actually seeing like the full, like, oh my God, because everything's so expensive right now. Just in general, just like surviving, living, California, it's expensive. But we've been the most successful after the pandemic. Like, we've been successful basically since we started. We started with 30 parties. Then the next year we had 60 parties. The next year we had 120 parties. The next year we had, you know, 200 parties, and then 300 and so on. You know, every year we ramped up, bought a new system, all these things. We were doing well before the pandemic. We're doing better after the pandemic. So I can't say that it's like, oh, well, you know, at year 10, if you aren't this, then you are. Who knows? It might take one person 5 years. It might take another person 17 years. It might take another person 30 years. It may take 45 years. Who knows? But you keep going. You get it? As long as you're profitable, you keep going. Even with my New York attitude, still dropping it. Still dropping gems. You're welcome. see, Lou's being petty right now. It's not Lou Primo, it's Lou Petty. That I get what you're saying. It's absolutely petty. Like, I know exactly what you're saying. Like, okay, yeah. Put that over here. I want you to look at me and know that I'm in control of your happiness. Oh man. Yeah, this is another one. For most people, I mean, look, if you take anything away from me, just take this away. If you're going to play remixes, the remix has to keep 70% of the original in it. So if you've turned, you know, hip hop song into a EDM song or a house song, it's got to retain the bass line. You can't change the bass line on them because that's how they react to music. That bass line is very, very important. You can change the beats or anything like that. That bass line is like the most important part, and you can't change the cadence. I know a lot of people are like, oh, we're going to turn, you know, this 4/4 song into a 5/4 song, jazz, blah, blah, blah. You mess with the cadence, you mess with the song. So there you go. Yeah, that's true. Very true. Oh, no, I'm saying to you guys, I don't say anything. Yeah. I don't, when they say it's expensive, I don't say anything. I'm just like, and I tell people, I'm like, we're not for everybody. I know we're more expensive than others. Well, how do you justify? I don't have to justify. I justify by the consistency. I justify how expensive we are by the fact that you just told me that 15 different people in 15 different areas in 15 different cities told you that we were the ones to book. I don't have to justify to you at all. You are the one having to justify why you want to choose somebody else. Would I say that to somebody? No. But if I get on the phone with you and you're like, oh, because I always ask, who referred you? Oh my God. Well, the people at my temple, and then my friend, and then I saw you at a party, and then the party planners, I'm interviewing 4 party planners, and they all said I got to go with you. And then the venue, you're on the venues list, and then, okay. Just okay. All right. All right, let's see here. 4 channels in the mix. You have 7. You have 7. I got 5 on it. Remixes a must in the bag. Okay, I got you. Yep. Tech House has like 98% of the 90s. That's at this point. That's okay. I am like, why the fuck they making Print a Baby into Tech House? All right. Steak in a butcher can cost 12 in a supermarket and cost 19 in a restaurant. The same steak can cost 80. Yeah, exactly. You're absolutely right. Yeah. And, in general, people go in, which I actually believe it's harder. It's actually harder to be high priced and not deliver a fantastic product because they're expecting an amazing product. If they're paying more than all the other DJ companies, they're expecting more. So we have to deliver every time. Think about that. You know what I mean? So, we don't think about it. We don't have time to think about it. We're too busy doing parties. But, every so often I'm just like, yeah. And then when we do sell the premium products, when the MC or the DJ or the party is just okay, we really go after it. Okay, why? What was the problem? What happened here? Let me check your music list. Let me check this. Let me check this. Because we know that as soon as our premium no longer is premium, or we're going to lose money. That's the whole thing of swinging for the fences and being considered like, top tier. It's a lot more. Everybody's gunning for top tier. Everybody wants to bring top tier down. But if you're, just starting out or middle of the line, no expectations. There's a lot more pressure being up top. In all honesty, there's a lot more pressure. Some people can't handle it. Meanwhile, we're like, what else can we do that we've never done before that we can sell people? And why are these people making money over here when I could make money over there? Why are we? Everybody's got their thing. My son's good. He's at college. He goes to LMU. I think he's coming back today for a few days. It's a spring break. So he's doing great. He's finally realizing what it takes to be an adult because we've been really, really focused on him being an adult and making choices. I just had a conversation with my wife because, he's struggling in a couple of classes. He's struggling in a couple of classes and, he's calling his mom and he's trying to do the same thing that he did when, he was back in, middle school and high school. Oh, mom, I've been, he's all getting all emotional and, she's mom. So she's going to, oh my God, we got to fix this. And I'm sitting there like, no, you don't. No. Well, he's struggling. Yeah, he is. He's got to work his way out of this. If he doesn't, he's never going to be an adult. This is what we deal with. These are the things we tried to work with him on back when he was in high school. And it was the thing we warned him on. So He's got to learn and he's got to do these things. I mean, I'll still talk to him. I'll still try to help him in general, but like, there's nothing we can do with this, well, maybe we should, nope. He's got to call his counselors. He's got to go to his people. He's got to figure out how to make this work. If you keep telling him what to do, he's never going to learn. Stop babying him. He's 18 years old. Time for him to make mistakes on his own. And none of these mistakes are life-threatening. So let him make the mistakes. So he learns. You know how much better we got because of mistakes we made? Every single time we made a mistake, we improved our process. Every time. We just made a mistake on an LED wall. We improved our process. So we won't make that mistake again. That's life. We're human beings. We make mistakes. Anyway, okay. Sorry, it's a presentation that counts. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I don't know what if that was for me or for somebody else. That's funny. Yeah. Sorry. Neuralink is absolutely correct. There are no brand names when you buy overseas. You're buying, sparkling box A22. And then you buy those sparkling boxes, and then 6 months from now, you're like, oh, you know what? They're doing really well. I need to buy 6 more. They're gone. They're gone. You got to find something else now. That's the way it works. That is the trade-off for buying overseas. We bought some washes, some color washes. We went back to find them. The company we bought them from doesn't even exist anymore. We found them from a whole nother company, and we managed to get more. But I guarantee you, 6 months from now, when I try to go find those same lights, they will be gone. They will be gone. So, good luck to you. Good luck to you. All right. 124. 124. It's at 3:30. Yeah. All right. I'm going to eat and then go to the gym. All right. Looks like we've gotten quiet. And the chat rate's down to 0, which means people are just sitting in here listening. So, that is my cue to, head out. I mean, every car is expensive now. All right. I think I've answered the majority of the questions here today. I don't think I see anything big. Yeah, I think I'm good. Let's see here. Ain't that? So, this week, no parties. Lou, thanks for being out here today. I know you're in here a lot, but you were contributing a lot today. So thank you so much. If you guys, by the way, if you guys aren't following Lou, you're not doing a good job. Follow Lou Primo. He's on YouTube. He's also on, he's on the help desk all the time. That's the help desk on Facebook, the DJ help desk. And he has a amazing conference that happens in December called Harvest of Sound. So I suggest you going there, and then maybe you'll see me. I keep telling Tyler, I'm like, Tyler, you don't need me to come back, do you? Like, come on, I've been there like every year. He's like, we want you there. You're a part of this. Like, I mean, you don't have to. Like, I get it. You playing Westlake this weekend? I'm playing, I didn't set up anything for May. We're too busy. I'm like, I don't want any club gigs in May. So I have a club gig at Westlake at Louis, aka Bogies, June 28th. I'll be at Louis, June 28th. And then I'm trying to set up some July clubs and some August. I want to kind of jump around and do multiples. There's a couple of venues that I want to get at. Maybe do Moms again. That's Motown on Monday. And but I'll be setting up for the summer. You think two jump goes? Do you think two thump goes would be fine for a boba shop party? Small place. Should be fine. Yeah. Should be fine. If it's a small little retail shop, you'd be fine. All right. Everything has a yeah, it's all outpaced. I don't eat out anymore. Sometimes we do. I got kids and we're always on the go. So sometimes it's important, but I try to cook dinner. Anytime I cook dinner, I can make a full meal for, 4 people for $15 to $30. Any meal from any restaurant, no matter where you go nowadays, is going to cost you $37 to $50, no matter what, for 4 people, no matter where you go. So yeah, we can't do that every night. We can't do that. Now I try to do it like we try to eat out when we have to. Even that's twice a week. Anyway, okay. Random. I'm still loving my Pioneer Rev 7, as you should. As you should. It's a great controller. It's a great controller. All right. Ha. I am in Arizona in May. I don't know exactly. I mean, I know I might try to get a booking in May. I might try to see what's going on with Chris Villa, and maybe hop on one of his clubs if he's even out here. I'm in Arizona, May 24th. I have a private event on the 24th, but I'm flying in on the 23rd. So Friday night. So, you got to figure something out. All right. Anyway, I got to run. Good to see you all. I need a gig in New York. I absolutely do. But I do need to run because I need to eat. I'm going to try to hit the gym right now before I have to get on my call. Because then I don't have to think about it tonight and I can shoot the rest of the videos that I need to shoot. Anyway, got to go. Hey guys, if you do have parties, which you shouldn't because it's Easter, have great parties. If you don't have parties, enjoy the time off with your family and your friends. Have a great weekend. I plan on it. I have nothing. I'm going to go to the movies. I'll probably go see Sinners with my wife if she will let me. Not let me. She doesn't like scary movies. I'm like, it's vampires. You love vampires. So we might do that. I have a friend that's having a birthday. I'll probably hit him up. We do have a bar mitzvah Saturday night. My son's DJing it. I might pop over there, just see how the party's going. But I'm not DJing. That's the key here. All right, y'all. Gotta run. Enjoy your week. Phoenix Pro microphone reviews going out. Hopefully within the next day. And then I am finally polishing up my algorithm DJ video. Anyway. All right. Gotta run. DJ Bam, just DM me on Instagram. All right. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great week. I will be here. Am I going to be here next Thursday? Yes. I will not be here potentially on the 1st of December. That's the key. My kid has a dance competition, so I may not be there that way, but I will be here next week. All right. That's funny. Not Gerald doing it on the same day as my meetings. Gotta go, guys. I'll see you later. Have a great day. Peace out. Always enjoy it. Always a pleasure. Thanks.